Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me at The Lonely Vine. So, not going to do the blind tasting that you've become so accustomed to over the past 7 shows or whatever episodes I've done so far. I had talked in the last show about doing more table wine centric shows, and I'm going to do that, but instead of showing, here's specific wine A, and here's what I think about it, and here's maybe where you can find it online. Most likely you're not going to be able to go buy it online. By the time you get to your wine shop, you're going to forget what I was even talking about or what I was even saying. So there really isn't a whole lot of point to showing specific table wines to you, but what I thought I would do instead is maybe focus on some of the varietals that are out there that you maybe haven't heard of, haven't tried, to give you an idea of what you can expect out of a varietal that isn't very commonly found. Not a Cab or Merlot or Pinot or Syrah, the wines that you're going to find readily available and that you've tried several times. Maybe more focus on something that you haven't seen, a Greco de Tufo, if we were talking about white wines. Given the time of year, I'm sticking with the red wines, and this time I wanted to show Tannat. This one specifically is a Pueblo Sol, but I'm more focused on the Tannat varietal. Now, full disclosure here, this is my second taping of the show. If you see the bottle, there's a little bit gone out of it. I taped one just before this, and it was approaching 20 minutes long, and at one point I was doing some kind of French accent, talking about terroir or something. I don't know. It got a little out of hand, and I was approaching 20 minutes, which is just way too long, and it was just basic absurdity by halfway through it. I don't know what was wrong, what was going on, but and no, you can't see it. It's been deleted and wiped off the face of this earth. But anyway, so the Tannat grape, it originates in the southwest of France, and there it is a very high tannic wine. It's more red fruit showing on the nose and in the palate, but the biggest thing about it is that it's very high in tannins. Like, you find a lot of wines that are blended, and they maybe have a high tannic wine, and they add some wine, softer wines to it to mellow tannins out, like they do with Bordeaux and Cabernet Sauvignon. Well, in the southwest of France, where they're talking about the Tannat grape, it's high in tannins, and they add other wines to it to soften, and one of the wines they add to soften it is Cabernet Sauvignon. So that gives you an idea of how tannic the Tannat grape can be in that southwest of France. Now, from the southwest of France, it migrated, and here's where we got out of control the last time, but it migrated down to Uruguay, which is where it's having a big explosion right now in, maybe not explosion, but it's becoming a very popular grape out of the Uruguay region. It's I believe the primary grape grown there. Now, in Uruguay, you're going to find it's a lot softer in the tannins, and it's generally more black fruit than red fruit, like it is in southwest of France. So this Tannat is from Uruguay. This particular bottle, it's going to be, and probably most of the ones you find are going to be in this, $8 to $12 price range. So, very reasonably priced. There's for a bottle of wine. So let's just get into it. me for a second time. This was a screw top. I did open it probably 3 or 4 hours ago, but it just sat in bottle open. It's gotten to room temperature now, so 68 degrees, somewhere around there. First, when we look at the color, this is going to be, it's a ruby colored wine. It's actually, I put it as pretty medium as far as the intensity of the color. In the horrible light that I have here, I can make out my hands through it. I can't really read the writing on the paper that I have in front of me. So it's a little bit darker, but it's not like full-fledged dark like you'd see with a Syrah or a Cab. Legs-wise, they're pretty medium, pretty medium moving, pretty medium across the board. This is a 12.5% alcohol, so for a red wine, it's on the lower side from what you're probably normally seeing, which can be a good thing. Let's go ahead and get the nose into it. So I am getting a sense of the alcohol, but that could be because I didn't give this a chance to open it up at all. It sat in the bottle, but you had all of the neck for getting air into it. Let's see if I can shake a little bit of that off here. So getting a lot of the typical noses that you get out of red wine. There's some dark cherry there. There's more black fruit than red fruit. I'm also getting just a little bit of minerality into it. A little bit of that, that slate, that stone kind of smell to it. It's not overpowering. It's definitely not prominent, but I am getting it, which I'm a fan of that minerality. So the dark cherry, the blackberry, those kind of darker fruits, a little bit of minerality. I'm not getting any sense of oak, no vanilla, no cedar, none of that. And I don't think this wine saw any oak at all, so I wouldn't expect it. I'm not getting any earth, anything like that. It's pretty staying right with those fruits and a little bit of minerality. So let's see what it's got for our palate. Okay, so there is some tannin to this. It's not overpowering. It's not that grab you right down here and let you know that it's there, but there is an astringency in the mouth. So I can sense the tannins there, but it's not gripping or biting as some people would describe the tannins. The fruit, it's pretty fruit forward. Again, it's the same on the mouth as it was on the nose. It's the black cherry. It's the blackberries. The minerality. I'm not getting a lot of the sense of the minerality, but the tannin structure there is some decent acidity to this. The salivary glands they're kicking in. I just had to wipe my mouth. So there is some acid to this wine. If you like acid, you would like that component of this wine. It's pretty simple. That's not a bad thing. There's the fruit right up front. There's not a whole lot of mid palate or finish. Let me rethink the finish part of it. yeah, so pretty simple. It's fruit forward, not much on the mid palate. The finish, you know, it's 2-3 seconds, 4 seconds around there, you know. But for $10, you're not going to be disappointed with the Tannat grape, in my opinion. I'm definitely not disappointed with this. This would be a wine that I would keep around. With the tannic structure, you know, this could probably last 4 or 5 years if you wanted to cellar it. But at a $10 wine, you know, this is something that you can bring home. I didn't run it through a decanter. I didn't run it through any kind of aeration or anything like that, and I see no problem with that. Some aeration, you know, it might soften the tannins a little bit, but really the tannins are so soft on this, and that I don't really think you would need to. So there you have it. That's the Tannat grape, Uruguay region, not Southwest France. $8 to $12. You know this bottle I'm having here. You know, I'd put this, if I was going to score it, I would put this in the 87, 88 range. You know, it's definitely nothing that you would not be happy with. Keep this around for, you know, dinner at home. You know what the structure this has is it? What? With the structure that this has in it, you know, I could see this pairing pretty well with like a hamburger. You know, grill a burger out in the cold, you know, because the burgers taste just as good in the winter as they do in the summer, right? Pair this with burger, pair this, you know, maybe with fajitas or something like that. That might even work. That might be a stretch, but you know, you could pair this with a lot of red meat. I don't think you have any problem with it. You could pair this with pasta dishes too. You know, with a red sauce on it. I think it would be pretty good. So there you have it. You know, if you're out in your wine shop and you see a Tannat grape bottle of wine, you know, give it a shot. $8 to $12 is going to be where you're going to the price point. You're going to find it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If I had to compare it to something, you know, it's I'm not sure what I would compare it to. You know, there's a hint. You know, why do I stump myself? That's just silly. You know, maybe, you know, like a softer cab. You know, there's maybe not the herbal, herb sense that you get out of it, but you know, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So give it a shot if you see it. So question of the day, which I haven't even thought of yet. Goodness, can tell this is my second show. What are some of the lesser known grapes that you go to? Are there any lesser known grapes that you go to? You know, Tannat, Greco Tuvo is one I mentioned on the white side. You know, just what are some of the lesser known grapes that you enjoy on maybe as a table wine or something more? Let me know. I would love to see comments from you. I know it seems I've got some people that are regularly watching my show, but you know, I would love to see comments from you guys. I would love to be able to, you know, have conversations with you, maybe get ideas on what you'd like to see, get your input on it. You know, I'm just doing these for fun, but I would love to be able to take them to another level, getting input from you guys. So if you could take a minute to leave a comment of any kind, I would really appreciate it. So until next time, grab some Tannat, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.